Hey, I'm Allie Bradley with NewsNation, and we're here early in the morning. We're getting ready to go ride along with ICE. They're conducting a targeted enforcement operation here in El Paso, something that we have not yet witnessed. So we're going to go see what we can find today.
Good morning, guys. All right, this guy, with the target we're going after today, is actually here legally as a lawful permanent resident. Okay, in 2021, he got arrested. That's when we first encountered him. He got arrested at the county jail for 5 different counts. The first one was sexual abuse of a child, continuous, victim under 14, 2 counts of indecency with a child, sexual contact, and 2 counts of aggravated sexual assault with a child. Well, he just got convicted in May of 2025 for one count of sexual abuse of a child, continuous under 14, and the second one was aggravated sexual assault of a child. So for this subject right here, we're going to try and apprehend him today and put him in front of the immigration judge so they can hear his case.
Okay, so we just sat in on a briefing with ICE, ERO, HSI, DEA, the FBI, and U.S. Marshals, all here in El Paso for a targeted enforcement operation. They have an individual who has been convicted of child sex abuse. So that is the individual that they're going after. He is here illegally, according to ICE. So that is the target today. Right now, they know where he is. They know what vehicles he's driving. So they're hoping to be able to make this apprehension.
10-4, you guys believe we can? You know what? He's using a cane. Looks like he can barely walk. You think we should block him in right there, Lozano, as he's still trying to pull out?
Yeah, we should just go ahead and federal close. Yeah, copy that.
Antonio, you want to pull up slowly? Yeah, he's having a hard time walking, man. We're gonna stand by. He's going back in the house. Stand by.
All right, so what we're doing right now is we're essentially on a stakeout. We are at the mercy of this target right now because they have an administrative warrant. They're not actually able to go inside of the home, so they have to wait for this individual to come out. That is very typical of a lot of these individuals that have criminal history, that have an order of removal, that are part of these targeted enforcement operations. So that's why it's so difficult. They can't just walk up and grab an individual or, go into this person's house and say, we know he's in there. They have to wait. They're, like I said, at the mercy of this individual. So right now that's what we're doing, and that is why it's so difficult. And they have several individuals as part of a team waiting on this one guy. So that's a lot of resources, a lot of time and manpower, and it took them about a week to get this case together, and they have multiple targets every single day. Sometimes they'll get their guy, sometimes they don't. So that is just kind of the nature of the beast out here.
You guys can call out when he's actually in the vehicle heading out.
He just got into the vehicle.
Okay, stand by. We got a lady with a dog passing by right here. Hey, Lozano, does it look like they're already secured in the vehicle? Good?
Yeah, his feet went up, like inside. It's moving.
It's moving.
Let's go and block him in right there, man. He's not very mobile, so.
Just wait for 1 minute, Travis.
Get the steering wheel.
Let's just stand outside right here.
Okay. ¿Necesitas eso, no, para caminar? Okay, pásale.
Mándame, amor. Heads up, guys. Watch your back.
You live here, man?
Yes.
What's your relationship so?
My husband.
Your husband, okay. What's your name, ma'am?
That's it.
Betsy?
You have any weapons? No.
Okay. Do me a favor. Come this way. You can't walk. Do you need a cane or something? Or?
You feeling okay?
Here. Ma'am.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
We don't want you to fall. We don't want you to fall. It's okay, my love. Take your time. Just relax. Todo va a estar bien, bebé. Si no te sientes bien, que le hablen a la ambulancia. You want us to call the ambulance?
I'm going to ask him what he would say to the family of the little kids that he's molested. Can I shout something at him and see if he responds? Sir, do you have any comments for the families of the children that you have been convicted of crimes against? Do you have a message for any of the families? No. No. Are you guilty of child molestation? Do you have a comment about your convictions? No comment. Okay, so this individual was just arrested without incident. As you could see, they kind of circled in as soon as he left the house. Were able to identify that suspect positively. He did have a passenger in the vehicle that he was referring to as his love, so assuming his romantic partner there. She is being talked to by the federal officials right now. They're taking him now for that processing we were talking about, where they want to put him in front of an immigration judge so that he can be removed. I did ask him if he had any comments towards the families of these children that he's been convicted of assaulting. He did not have a comment for us. So now they will take him and process him further, and he's in the custody of the federal agents now. You're smart. That's really smart.
What?
Yeah. Can you give us a little debrief on that right there? You have your face covered and everything. Is that okay?
That's fine.
So obviously, everything moved really, really quickly as soon as they started moving and they were on the road. Tell me kind of the strategic move there about you guys coming in.
Yeah, so we had already been watching this house, right? So we already knew where we had to park in order to get a view of that door. As you could tell, that Mercedes is parked right next to the main door, right? So we're concerned that he would see us and run straight into the house. We weren't aware that he was going to have a cane with him, right? But once we saw him pull out, I was telling the guys to make sure that we overwhelm him so he doesn't have the option to run into the house. Or what you see a lot is they'll start thinking, oh, there's only 2 cars, I could probably get away. But if you overwhelm them with a lot of vehicles, they don't think that way anymore. So we take that element out.
And there was no incident, but it did look like he was kind of trying to be mobile in his car at first before, we really closed in. And then he didn't want to open the door at first. And you had kind of said it almost looked like he was going to put up a fight.
Correct.
When it doesn't happen, talk about the success there, because again, this was without incident. No officers were hurt. Nobody was impacted at all. And he's fine, and so is the passenger. Talk about the success there, if that is a success for you.
Yeah, so this is actually what we hope would happen, right? Because once they start moving their vehicle, trying to use it as a weapon against us, then it's a big safety concern for us as supervisors, right? Mm-hmm. But we've been doing this for a little while. Most of the guys out here, as you can tell, we have DEA, marshals, FBI, HSI, ERO. So we've been doing this for a little while, especially working together. So we know what can happen. And so that's the reason we already knew. We just need to overwhelm him to not give him that option to think, to make sure we make this a successful apprehension, right? Mm-hmm. And luckily, he didn't have a chance to go into the house. A lot of vehicles, as you could tell when we pulled up, I felt like he was thinking a little bit, but then he saw 3 more vehicles pull up to the front. And so he gave up at that point, but clearly he didn't want to roll down his window. But at that point, we have the authority to extract him from the vehicle because we have the warrant in our hand and we know who he is. And so I'm glad it played out the way it played out.
Yeah, and when I was asking him about his convictions, right, he didn't deny anything, but he also didn't want to talk about it.
Exactly.
So I'm sure you guys probably can put the feather in the cap.
Oh,
You got
yes.
one of the bad guys off the
Correct.
streets. Now he's going to go in front of an immigration
Correct.
judge,
Yes.
and it'll be in their hands to determine what happens with him.
Yes, he's just exactly what the kind of persons we're going after, right? We want to get the worst of the worst, and we want to help keep our community safe, right? So
Yeah.
I'm glad it went the way it went today.
Multiple convictions
Yeah.
against children. Wow. Thank you. Okay, so obviously we just apprehended a convicted criminal. What happens with him next? I know you had said you want to get him in front of an immigration judge. How do we get there?
Yeah, so as soon as we get to the office right now, we're actually going to process him, right? So that we can schedule his immigration hearing with the judge. And because of his conviction, it's highly likely that he is going to get a deportation order by the immigration judge back to Mexico. And I think that's the reason why his wife was crying that way, right? Because she knows he's pretty much gone at this point now that he's in our custody. So that's pretty much what happens with these permanent residents that commit serious crimes as such, right?
Now, does it concern you that he has a U.S. citizen wife and family or whatever he might have, that he's just going to come back?
So unfortunately, being a border town, that is something that we see a lot, right? We arrest them, deport them. Some of them will even joke around at the port of entry telling us, oh, I'll see you next week, right? And so he might try and come back, but I feel like the border is tighter now with Border Patrol being back on the line. So I feel like it's going to be a little bit more difficult for him to come back, even if he has family here in the U.S.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.